So we are about to kick off this match. Once again, every player had a coach. So as Ember is an undead, Qbert, I think you were coaching him. In this matchup versus Night Elf, what were your primary goals during coaching?
You'd be correct in that assumption. So we actually spent a lot of time playing 1v1s against each other. Ember being, about 1800, it was definitely, decent games between us. I can't remember, I don't know how many we played. I'd say at least 15 or 20 practice matches. We talked a lot about the Night Elf matchup in particular, as well as Human for Fountain of Mana League 2 for his other opponents. And, our main goal was trying to refine the timings and the strategies of playing against either Keeper, Demon Hunter, Fast Expand with Dryads, or the style which I think Wontu is probably more likely going to try is DH first.
Cithrin, your primary targets when coaching Wontu?
My primary target with coaching Wontu was teaching him to not beat himself. With Wontu, there's a lot of kind of issues with him feeling like he had to be doing something all the time, which is a real common issue with some of these slightly lower level players. Obviously, they're both in the 1700 range, so we wouldn't really consider them true low level players. But there is this idea that, oh crap, I have to be doing something. And taught him to try and quell that. Just don't always have to be doing something. In one of the previous games against Ember, he ran a Panda and a Keeper level 3 at Ember's Expo and lost them both because he felt like he had to be doing something. So we'll see what he does this game.
That sounds like a lesson for life in general. So not only Warcraft coaching, but also life coaching at the gym Discord.
I was going to say, it sounded pretty philosophical, right?
Yeah, Cithrin. Damn. All right, guys, the game is on the way. I'm the caster for most of the stuff that's happening here, but for this very show match, I give it up to you guys. Let me know everything you know about the players, about your approaches to this matchup. The stage is Jim's.
All right.
Thank you, Neo, for the awesome introduction, man.
Take it away, Keeper.
Yeah. So we actually have a Keeper first coming out of Wontu, which does surprise me because I've always felt like he's quite, he leans towards playing Demon Hunter first. So I'm definitely curious to see how strong his Keeper is. And I don't know how much you and Wontu did discuss Keeper first. I'm sure you can elucidate me afterwards. But yeah, really curious to see how that's going to play out. Ember opening, of course, with the standard DK Ghouls. With the slightly late hero with the Altar Crypt opener. Which is completely fine, and he may choose to either creep first or come across for that initial Wisp Harass, which is something that I have talked about with him quite a bit.
Yeah, Wontu opening up Keeper, like you said, and we have talked about this. We talked about this quite a bit. Keeper is his guy versus Undead right now. That's kind of his strategy for the moment, is playing that Foggy style, so the Tier 1 Expo into Mass Dryad or Mass Lore just in general. And I would not be surprised to see him go right across to this gold mine and creep it out immediately.
That's pretty interesting to me. You guys actually decided to maybe refine that strategy and kind of go for it, because it's also the strategy that I was preparing Ember to go against.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like it's one that from both point of views the players need to be prepared for, but we actually see Ember selling the TP, buying 2 skulls, and preparing to go for a Tier 1 expand here.
Yep, and this is exactly what I prepared Wontu against. We talked about, like, if he sees his opponent go with the fast expansion, that he needs to react differently. So he's not going to stay. We're not going to see Wontu stay on Tier 2 for forever, like we would see Foggy Goovers Happy, for example. He's actually going to fast tech to bears, or a little bit faster in consideration. And
all right,
try to win the long game.
All right, that's if I was actually giving Wontu advice there, I would quite like to go for the Tier 1 mass hunt style. But there are inherent risks, of course, throwing down that Hunter's Hall and second Ancient of War immediately, running the risk that the Undead just aborts the expand and techs. But you can still kind of exert a lot of map presence there with those hunts. First Entangle flying out into the goo here, not going to go down. Might see quite a big deto, but actually Wontu a little bit slow to use the detonation there, doesn't get it and loses it to the coil. And
Yeah.
I don't know how aware he is of this expand right now. He should click on the DK here and see he has no TP and a skull.
He saw the expand being crept with a wisp, so he should have knowledge of this. And the most important part about that is that Ember's expansion was a little bit late, I think. I think his Haunted Goldmine went down just a little bit late, and Wontu's Tree of Life halfway done with no risk at this point of being canceled. So I think things are looking good for Wontu.
Yes, this is a pretty interesting opener. We actually, Ember and myself, we practiced a little bit of this exact style in this map with him going tier 1 expand and me playing keeper. And I had great success just harassing him early off the bat with multiple wisps, dropping those hunts quickly, and even if he decided to abort, I could basically all in him with glaives and APs.
Right.
But yeah, Wontu, as you said, going for the long game there. Expo is going to come up pretty much undeterred, and tech is already 40% through. Meanwhile, as you noted, expansion pretty late for Ember, and his tech is some ways off.
Yeah, and that was something that we did talk about, me and Wontu. I did ask him, you know, how do you feel about keeper hunts all in? Because that's how I beat Ember. I beat Ember on this map with a keeper hunts all in, and he was like, I don't feel so good about it. And I was like, okay,
Yeah,
cool. Let's not do it then. Let's just definitely keep you comfortable. But Wontu making a mistake here. He doesn't know that his Tree of Life is not in range for the Golden Knight.
Yep.
So could be in a little bit of
really nice
danger.
save onto that wisp there. Sorry, just to slightly cut you off, but
No, you're fine.
Wontu saving that wisp there last second against the coil by healing with the Moonwell. Really nicely done. And here we see the wisps being pulled in and out of the gold mine just to keep them alive. But yeah, that Tree of Life still not entangling, still not in range, and it's something that's quite easy to miss if you haven't placed it quite correctly. And that's gonna sting, man.
Yeah, it's already like a 30-second delay, which, as we know, is killer sometimes at this level.
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially 300 gold down the drain. Every second is 10 gold that he's not mining, basically. So,
and now he's training wisps. Oh no! Okay,
there
now he's realized.
Yeah, that kind of took a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
First lore being dropped, many wisps being queued, which I definitely do agree with. He's kind of lacking a little bit in the lumber department, and I would quite like to see a Panda second here.
Panda second is what it's going to be. Cupid.
There we are.
Now, what we're not going to see is Wontu push the Expo. We're going to see Wontu creep some small green camps and just get a little bit done at a time, which is exactly what I talked to him about. And this is what I love to see.
I think without the early level 3 keeper, I definitely agree with taking the time to go back. It's pretty hard to accomplish anything at the end of the expansion with us in the Ruby, and you only have level 1 Tangle. DK does have the staff, albeit no mana, so it would be a little bit difficult to maybe preserve the lives of those acolytes, but keeper not very effective at harassing without level 3.
Definitely. If he could get us around here and then get the entangle,
yeah, that's the dream, man. Feels like a slightly wasted opportunity there, I think. There was definitely a chance to keep up a block and then go for the entangle, as you said, just to guarantee that kill, but alas, it's not meant to be. Two crits.
Things still looking good though for Wontu, I would say. His Expo is up now. Ember with the massive gold advantage, but Wontu with the tech advantage. So not the worst. And Ember's going into Fiends.
Yeah.
Fiends.
So I also discussed this with him because I thought, you know, Fiends are cool when you're happy and you have insane micro. And I think obviously, you know, in 1-base scenarios, you should still stick with Fiends. But when you have a 2-base economy, I really feel like there's little reason to not go Gargs. Because they're just far simpler to micro. They're really overwhelming for the Night Elf to deal with in huge numbers, and obviously they're only 2 food. So you can kind of amass a larger amount of units, harass the Night Elf a bit, keep him busy, while staying on that 50 food for as long as humanly possible. But I do like the Slaughterhouse coming too, so we will see probably Destroyers and Abominations later on.
So, do you not agree with this then, going into Fiends? He's getting upgrades as well for him, 1-1 coming.
I do think without top-tier micro, you should just stick with Gargs, in my personal opinion. I don't really see the reason for you to make the game harder for yourself.
Interesting, interesting. Could it be like a purposeful choice to try and counter this mass lore thing or this mass dryad thing that Ember's going to go for, or that Wantu's going to go for? Whoops.
That could very well be the case, because I will say that obviously for the Night Elf point of view, the counter is obviously mass dryads, pretty much against guards. High level panda, mass dryads, you can get a couple bears in there sometimes, but they often do get obliterated by frostworms in the late game. And yeah, Fiend's obviously far more efficient in trading against dryads, so ultimately with good control, can do it. And I know Ember does love to play Fiends, he pretty much exclusively plays Fiends. So I think he can manage against Wontu. I think he's capable.
Yeah, definitely. Ember looking for some cheeky archer kills here. He's going to get one, but nice polishes. And
Wait.
this TK.
Okay, he did manage to get it, but this TK is in a load of trouble. Has to pop the invul immediately. TP on the Lich actually was bought, so he can transfer it over if he has to. Obviously, though, you really don't want to have to TP right now.
Definitely. And Wontu is about the time where he should be teching to tier 3, in my opinion. We see Ember banking at 50 supply, which I love to see. Wontu also more or less banking at 50 supply, though that is because he's out of Moonwell. So
what I find really problematic right now, Cithrin, is Ember's tier 3.
Right.
He's already chilling at tier 3. I think Wontu is really struggling with his lumber economy. Honestly, I would just kill an archer here and buy a shredder, just to try and fix like your lumber issues for the whole game. Because as Night Elf, it's pretty often on 2 bases, especially players that I've coached and looked at, and something I realized in my own games over time is getting that shredder when you can, when you're on Night Elf 2 base, feels so good to just alleviate the pressure of having to gather lumber with your wisps.
Yeah, I completely agree. And Wontu walking into a Coil Nova here, probably forced into the TP, but Ember at least doesn't have...
Okay, he's good. I think
he doesn't have the
Nova was still on cooldown, so he pretty much needed the DK swipe there and a Nova to finish him off, and he didn't quite have it off cooldown, so Wontu walks away essentially unscathed. Panda creeping up a storm, probably level 3.7 or 3.8 after this creep. Potentially big mana here as well.
Yeah, and we see Lionhorn in the marketplace, and that's what he goes for. He goes for Lionhorn, which I actually really like. Big invul as well, pretty nice. Not too bad. Goodbye, I want to.
Crystal Ball, I think, can be sold, especially given that you have Sentry Wards, because Sentry Wards, it's very hard to tell when your opponent actually places a Sentry Ward in the middle of a battle. And given that Ember has gone for those Fiends, I'm sure he will have Burrow researched or will be going for Burrow imminently.
And not just for Fiends, he's got a Boneyard in place.
Yeah. He's also getting Disease Cloud as well, so I think we're going to see a really huge mix of units here, like Ghouls, Fiends, Statue, Abomination, Worms. Man.
Oh my god.
That's unorthodox.
That's hard to micro, honestly, isn't it? Like, that's like 3 different control groups to have to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, I would say 3. But what I believe you should do as the Undead is have a group 3 that's basically just your A-click fire and forget group. So maybe statues that you can A-click in, so they'll just always be regenerating. And abominations and ghouls. I mean, there's not too much to micro when you've got fiends that you have to concentrate on microing, as well as vulnerable air units. Fight breaking out here between the 2 players right now. Wontu doesn't have Master Bears right now. I don't know how I feel about this engagement, but maybe with the Panda can make something happen, but I think this is a huge mistake by Wontu to come to this side right now.
I feel like if he had kept the Panda back, or if he had kept the Bears back, then that would have definitely been better. He is going to get the level 6 Marauder, which is nice, or maybe he's not because the Entangle runs out.
Wait, Ember just assumed that he had gotten it and just walks off. That's pretty fortunate.
Yeah.
And Frostworm's doing like 250 damage a hit on heavy armor. It's so insane. Units that we see very rarely. Yeah, they're pretty pog, but it's rare to see them in action, Yeah. I get a little excited to see them for sure.
Oh, and Wontu does reveal right on top of the Boneyard, so maybe a little bit of good intuition, gets the Orb of Venom, and I don't like the way that he took that fight, but he didn't throw the game in that fight, or at least lost a little bit, but nothing too terrible.
This is a fascinating army comp by Ember. I kind of enjoy having, done some coaching and training with Ember, and then he just does something super weird. I think it's hysterical.
Yeah, Wontu's following what I told him to do, like by the book.
Yeah.
Just a little bit late with everything, but like, and then Ember.
I respect that, man. I'm really, it's cool. And he actually has the advanced creature attack and carapace queued up in the graveyard there. They take a long time, those upgrades, 90 seconds apiece for the tier 3 upgrades. And Wontu's starting to kind of get a little army of hippos on the go here. How do you feel about that, Citron?
I told him it's a trap, but I told him it's a trap against guards.
It's a trap.
And I told him to pull up 6 hippos at a time and then bring them in. Or six plus hippos, because 4 hippos is nothing. You know what I mean? 4 hippos, especially against guards or against fiends with web.
Now we have 6 fiends on the field.
Nothing. Yeah. So he needs at least 6 hippos in order to do anything.
I completely agree. I think oh my gosh, I just clicked on Ember's Lich and he's plus 32, dude.
That's gonna be dead, so didn't you assume that?
That's a happy disciple right there. That's a happy tier 3 sub right there.
I don't know. Personally, I just always assume that it's gonna be a plus 32 Lich.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm
my gosh, he buys the illusion.
Look at those illusions.
Good lord.
And Wontu will have no clue. If this is me, I would just GG.
Yeah, we've seen that before for some players.
Yeah.
Both players floating a ton right now, but I think it's going to come down to just this huge fight. Breaths flying out and Nova immediately. All the hippos webbed, and they're basically completely ineffective currently. Nice attempt to dispel the illusion frostworms with the dryads though.
Yeah, Wontu actually taking this fight real well. Ember's doing not too great on his HP. He's going to lose a couple things here.
Mate,
real quick.
Ember without a single heal scroll against Panda this fight. I think
that's a massive mistake.
Massive mistake. He has 2k gold, 2k Ember coming in right now.
Oh no.
And yeah. Still has a ton of mana on that DK though, at least 4 more coils across the course of this fight, so he can definitely keep his air units alive, and Wontu definitely running out of steam with that Panda getting low. Oh my god!
No!
And he's gone.
And he had the big invuln and he didn't even use it. And we said that the fight started off all right for Wontu, but now he lost like 40 supply, and Ember's still sitting at 80. So,
as our boy Grinchy would say, "Oh lord."
Oh lord.
Oh lord. Because that's what I'd be saying right now if I were Wontu. He actually put up a third base actually to the left there too, which is obviously not going to come up in time for this. I think having just not broken to 100 food here was probably one of his biggest mistakes. He definitely had the bank to do so when he was 80 food.
Definitely. I think he needed if he was going to go into hippos, he needed the double ancient of Doom to do so. And just never did it, and I think we saw why hippos are a bit of a trap. Personally, I kind of hate them, but it is what it is, and now Wontu on the back foot.
I feel like hippos are just so exceptional when it's a one-base game from the undead, and they don't have that massive fiends or the ability to replace all those fiends. And you played a keeper dryad game with an expand, and you eventually get to that tier 3 state with bears and sometimes hippos as well. And it's truly a magnificent army composition, but not when the undead is also on 2-base eco. It's pretty rough.
Definitely. And Ember choosing to not get some exit kills here, pulling the boys though. Here come the boys. They're back in town, and looks like he might try to do a death push against our boy Wontu here.
Yeah, Ember's still floating an inordinate amount of resources right now, but he doesn't really care. He's just gonna plod on forwards with this wrecking ball of an army right now, and Wontu with a hapless 60-foot army against 80. This is gonna be a bloodbath session.
Oh, I mean, it's been a bloodbath. It will be. It currently is.
A bloodier bath.
And Wontu losing supply. 45, he's going to lose about 6 more right now. It's just kind of a matter of how long does he want to stay. Yep.
GG's called.
Hey. What a nice game to open up this show match. Very unique if you compare it to like meta games and stuff. But
definitely. What
was like, Hubert, tell me 3 things that made you happy looking at Ember's play. Or maybe
I
not 3,
liked-
but you know, what made you
Yeah,
happy
yeah.
about it?
Sure. I enjoyed, he kind of delayed Wontu quite a bit in the early game. I felt like Wontu was never really able to get to his side of the map and do any damage at all. That does partly come down to Wontu's approach. Obviously, going for that second camp without harassing does kind of leave you vulnerable to just being kind of gate kept on your own side of the map by the undead, which I think Ember did brilliantly this game. Great upgrades overall. Actually, on both sides, we had 3-1 for Wontu in the end, and Ember did hit that 3-3, which is great. So we really kept on top of that, and I think the army composition was pretty cool. It's a lot going on. Like it's a handful to control, but I enjoyed it, and I think he executed it pretty well.
Right. Anything to criticize that maybe you mentioned in practice and he completely ignored?
I can't really critique that, you know, his game overall in this particular one. He did go for a fast expand, which is a strategy I know he likes to do, especially on Tidehunters. He feels really comfortable executing that strategy on this map, and I think he did great. Some critiques. I mean, he you know, we call him 4K Ember for a reason, or 5K Ember. He does have a habit of floating like 2,000 plus resources when he's 80 food. Something he does really consistently, actually. So he could definitely work on the ultra late game macro a little bit.
Just practicing for 4v4, man.
Yeah, for sure. Or FFA, yeah.
Or
Where you're
FFA,
backing
yeah.
all the time. Or he has the big role model in Kaiser. I remember when we were playing during the hot fundraiser, it was 6K Kaiser, right? And
That's right.
Sigrid, your
Kaiser.
pros and cons of Wontu.
Wontu got a little unlucky, I would say. I would say that just kind of like the positioning of his Tree of Life and not just kind of trusting that when it came up, it would immediately start entangling the gold mine. Just little mental things here and there that was like, need to check that. Need to check this. He was lumber starved the whole game. Needed to get an earlier shredder instead of doing probably the big consumable camp. Needed to get double Ancient of Wind for his hippos if he was going to go into hippos. If you're going to commit into that, then definitely need to commit into that. I think he struggled to choose what he was going to commit to other than creeping. And he did get nice hero levels. He had a very strong panda, very strong keeper, I would say. But all of that kind of goes out the way if you don't have the army to back it up, because the undead heroes are just as strong. And Ember got to DK4, Lich 3, and he was totally fine. So now we're going to see our players on Concealed Hill, which is going to be very different from what we saw last game, I think, because the expos are so much harder. So I know that Ember has a tendency to go into single base Gargs on CH. We'll see what Wontu does.
I was about to ask you guys what's different about the map, but you know, we started already. I once again leave the stage to you. So explain CH in Night Elf vs. Undead and what you guys have, or your guys have planned for each other. Have fun, boys!
Thank you. Yeah, I like your critique, Cithrin, of Wontu's gameplay last game. I completely agree, and it's pretty much all the things I would have suggested. I feel like, you know, you gotta go for that shredder really early on, just to have the wood economy the entire game, that you don't get gate kept from having your tier 3 on time and having the ability to transition into double wins and getting upgrades. Super expensive to do. So that shredder just really alleviates that lumber pressure that you often have as Night Elf. And yeah, this map's a pretty interesting one. We do often see undeads opting for Gargs, mainly of course due to the presence of the fountains in the Red Drake, which could drop a pretty juicy item. And elves tend to play Keeper basically, as you do on most maps. And as you pointed out, the expos are pretty difficult. I personally like to come across with DK and Lich on tier 2 and delay the routing of the expansion essentially as much as humanly possible, which can be fairly easy to do because at the end of the day, archers are extremely vulnerable to being nuked, while the Night Elf was in the process of trying to creep that camp. So let's see if Ember's a bit more aggressive this time.
Yeah, Wontu and I have talked about it, and he is going into Keeper of the Grove. I do already know what his second hero is going to be, but I'm not going to spoil that for you.
All right.
Ember obviously going DK Ghouls, open, and trying to see if he can get some cheeky last hits with his Acolyte.
Oh, mate.
Let him get it.
There we are. Nicely done by Wontu.
There'll be another chance. Another chance soon.
2 more chances. Yeah, pretty late spawn with those treants as well. A nice trick is to run your archer in, so that you get her ensnared by the creep camp, and then spawn the treants. So the treants will be, getting their DPS right onto that trapper. Ember going for pretty standard creep here with 3 ghouls. Actually gets a Detto onto one Skelly, which
gets him level 2 because of the Acolyte kill. That's what that does.
That's true. It wasn't the best detonation in the world, but it is immediate level 2, and Wontu actually opting to go right across the map. Pretty interesting choice.
And this is what I want to see, because he got the claws. He's going to have some good auto attack damage. There will be no aura, so no way to run away. Let's just see if he can get some little bit of coil forced. 1 ghoul entangle.
Yeah, and I think especially something that perhaps low-level players might neglect is items can dictate a lot of perhaps your early game capabilities, especially. And I feel like if Wontu had gotten a ring, he might not have gone for this play, because those claws with +5 damage, every single hit on the auto attack here is incredibly valuable.
Yeah, definitely. And Wontu feeding a little bit with those treants feeds level 2. I don't like the treant play, but he bought some time, and the tech for Ember is a little bit delayed as well, because I think Ember was focused on trying to save things.
Yep, and also Wontu split creeping with just 2 archers initially, and a third one joining now, the giant turtle camp, going decently, but he did have to expend quite a bit of Moonwell juice just to keep those archers alive against the sea turtles there.
Yeah.
But he's doing pretty good.
Ember on the warpath, he's going to be able to get this cancel on this Tree of Life if he finds it, which I'm sure he's going to be able to find it, because
that's a dead tree.
Wontu's not here yet. Yep. Definitely.
It's not a lot of units, and even if he lands a good detonation, immediately gone. Nicely done by Ember.
This should be a ghoul kill, though.
This is a dead one.
Yeah.
1 ghoul going down, but this is an amazing trade. 2 wisps as well, really hampering the economy of Wontu. 2 ghouls. We're starting to approach territory now where you really can't afford to lose more than that. Oh, really nice skeletons around. Should still be able to catch up to this archer pretty easily, though, because of Unholy Aura. But yeah, Wontu approaching that level 3, and Ember is some ways off his own.
For sure, this should be a second archer going down, right? The first one did go down, right? Yes, okay.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, all he just needs is 1 high roll. Yep, there it is.
Executed. And just look at the lumber of Wontu right now. I think genuinely this Hunter's Hall is a mistake. And we need to see mass air coming out of Wontu. I feel like when you're these sort of games as Night of, where you've lost quite a lot of wisps, your lumber eco is pretty hampered. This like trying to get up the Hunter's Hall and 2 lores and a second hero, it's an insane amount of wood. You're definitely skipping Nature's Blessing.
Yeah.
And yep, an expo cancellation hurts too, and this might be the early game damage that Ember really needs to succeed on 1 base.
You know, I've seen this amount of damage be the amount of damage that you need to do. He did kill 2 archers, he did get the Tree of Life, he did get 2 wisps. And Wontu's still going to be stubborn, going to try and go into the expo. But the expo now in a dangerous location, it's going to take a long time to walk across. And Wontu probably won't have the tech or the army in order to deal with this second crypt going up and Gargs coming out for Ember. I think he's just going to stay DK solo for a little while.
Honestly, really surprised by that. I felt like this sort of game where you've got that cancellation, and he did see Wontu drop the Tree of Life again. I really feel like having the Lich out immediately here and playing the usual Fiend, tier 3 push would have been really nice, because this Lich, I think, pretty much would have been able to deny this tree ever sitting down at this point, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. Ember, tell me if I'm wrong about this, but I don't think I've ever seen Ember try to harass wisps with gargoyles.
It's kind of funny because it's sort of one of their main uses is, of course, continuing to hamper the economy of the Night Elf. But I have to agree, especially in our practice games too. We've had a couple maps, a couple CGs on this particular map where Ember went Gargs, and he pretty much didn't go after my Wisps, although I did have an AP already up, so I guess that might have scared him off. But there's no way Wontu would. But as we're talking about it, we've got some Gargs. Are they positioning near the fountain or going to the base? We'll just have to see. And Demon Hunter, pretty suboptimal here, honestly, against Gargs. I'm not the biggest fan.
Yeah, if he can get to tier 3 and get an orb, then it's totally fine. But I don't know if any of these Wisps are going to be alive after the next 5 seconds. I think 9 Wisps are going to die in the next 5 seconds, as gargoyles are wont to do.
Gosh.
And
no AP to protect them.
Yeah, he's going to have to react. He's going across with an invisible keeper, expecting tier 3 to be coming, but there is no tier 3. And he might still be able to get some good entangled kills on these acolytes, but is it really worth the damage?
Yeah, I mean, as something I've stressed to a couple Night Elf players that I've spoken to, you really have to check whether the undead is going Fiends or Gargs. It's just so essential to know whether you have to prepare yourself against Gargs, which in my opinion the counter of course is an immediate AP to protect your Wisps, and Panda second. I feel are both the optimal choices. And you know, you said the Demon Hunter of course later on is a strong hero of course in high levels, and with an orb it's pretty decent. But no AP here just makes it such a nightmare to deal with this Garg harass. Pretty much has to just park his entire army just to deal with the massive Gargs. And of course Ember not taking to tier 3, getting a huge massive Gargs more quickly than you'd expect as well, so that makes it all the more difficult.
Yeah, both players taking their time though. I do like the patience from both players, you know, and the committal to their strategy. You know, neither player really changing their strategy based on how the game is going. Just deciding, I'm going to play my game. That's what I'm going to do. And, you know, from hell or high water, this is how I'm playing.
Yeah. And honestly, because Ember is so committed to tier 2 right now, and also he's forgetting to replace his 5th Acolyte that died, so that could prove to be pretty catastrophic over time, is Wontu is getting this Expo up, and he can afford to remain tier 2 for almost the remainder of the game, pretty much.
Yeah.
Provided that Ember just stays one base, because Dryads are the unit you need. You can get them all the way up to 2-2 on tier 2, which is pretty good. Obviously, an orb would be great for the Demon Hunter, kind of essential against the Gargs. But he can afford to tech tier 3 very, very late, provided that he maintains his base lead.
Yeah, definitely. Wantu's going to pull the Ogre. He's already in position with the Demon Hunter, and that won't be level 3 for the Demon Hunter unless he splits off the Keeper, but I don't think he's going to do that unless he walk in with some Dryad.
Yeah, I think he will. There we are. I think he's still going to share the XP though. Pretty common to see players, even at this level, not really separate their heroes when they should. But it's fine. At the end of the day, he might actually just carry on creeping the whole camp.
I mean, that's what I would do. Ember on the other side, getting the Fountain of Health, gets an hilarious Flute of Accuracy, which is just, that's just disgusting.
Magnifico.
What did you do? What did you do to this map?
I know, there's nothing worse than seeing an undead with Flute of Accuracy. It's pretty demotivating. Just knowing that their Fiends and Gargs are just hitting like trucks.
Yeah.
But he still hasn't replaced the 5th Acolyte, man. That's a 450 gold deficit so far.
Yeah, that's massive, and especially as the expansion goes up for Wontu, that's big deal. Rock Golem going to be getting crept out now, big item, and the hero levels are beginning to be an issue for
Mate.
For Ember.
Ember picked a second hero.
What the heck?
Mr. Mecha Gob, which is a truly horrifying name.
He gets a Selby mask though.
Yeah, pretty sweet items, but this Tinker is, I feel like, almost meme tier.
I like it. I like the Tinker, man. He's good against Dryads. This is some Night Elf Mirror stuff.
He is, but like, I guess he needs to go Lich 3rd then, so he can get that Focus Fire with Orb, but to be honest, I don't know if Ember's ever going tier 3 this game.
You know who approves of this Tinker play?
Who?
Colorful. Colorful's like, my man.
We also saw Lalaya make great use of Tinker third with rockets against human. Really nice.
Yeah, very true. This is a lot of skellies. They're gonna obviously run out here in a second, but double heal scroll for Ember, single heal scroll for Wontu. And gonna check the expo, know that there's not one, and I think Wontu's gonna start feeling, okay, I can do this.
Yeah, I'd be feeling really good about myself right now as Wontu. He's got that 1-1 queued up. First attack upgrade about to be done. Does need to transfer items around a little bit of inventory management required here. All the great items for the Demon Hunter are currently sitting on the Keeper. And yeah, level 5 Death Knight is going to be pretty nice here. And I feel like as Ember, you could commit fairly hard to the fight here with the scroll. And actually, oh my gosh.
This honestly should be a stomp because the amount of guards, and there's no
rough.
orb. No. There's also no AP at the expo. This could just be Wontu dying. He was at 60 supply, now he's at 40. So Ember should lose some ghouls, but the expansion should also die. So
see, the Demon Hunter second here just feels really ineffective without an orb, especially at this stage of the game. A level 3 Panda would have at least dealt some great AoE, and I also feel like the TP was incredibly ambitious, that position. It is difficult to make a good TP in this particular case, but I think the spot he chose wasn't the optimal one.
Yeah, every ghoul is gonna die, but now it's just 2-0 guards, and the expo goes down because of the Pocket Factory.
Yep.
And oof.
When you said oof, I don't know why, but I think of the Roblox sound with the kid, which is just like,
oh my gosh. Yeah, I could see that.
Ember's still on 4 acolytes, by the way.
He's probably like
these guards they're just cleaning house right now.
I mean, what does he need? What does he need money for?
Oh.
He's banking 1,000 gold on 4 acolytes.
Oh man, I love it. Tinker makes it out barely with that info pot.
Wontu, in response to losing his expo, is going to tech instead. So teching to tier 3, and I think that is ultimately the option of what he needs. He needs to get an orb for his DH so his DH can attack up. That's the only thing holding him back from actually fighting this right now. Gets another Garg, and honestly, the more that dies for Ember, the more dangerous that it actually is, seeing as how he has still been on 4 acolytes this entire time. There's 1,000 gold lead on Wontu's gold mine.
That is completely mental.
Yeah. Wow.
It's
Undead
just
can win with 4 acolytes.
Wait, Undead OP?
No!
We're kidding.
I'm kidding. It's a joke.
Oh, man, Elf can't do anything. Kidding.
We here at Jim do not.
we do not condone.
We're kidding. In any case, something that's I don't know if you noticed this, but the Gargs were actually in prioritize mode for that fight.
Were they?
Yeah, not that it matters anyway, because obviously there was no air targets, but pretty funny just to see that they were chilling in prioritize mode anyway.
Ember teching to tier 3, so that's going to be another 2.5 minutes of 4 acolytes at the very minimum.
I cannot believe he hasn't noticed this entire time. That is incredible.
The funny thing is, like, if it continues this way, he'll have 1,000 extra gold in his.
Oh, like you mean once Wontu's gold mine's expired, he'd be chilling with some gold, yeah. As long as he doesn't lose too much. Gotta creep the Tinker here to level 4, pretty nice. Dag down Bloodwrath, keeping up the creeping game too. Not too much left though, I'm afraid. Just a few scraps left over on this Concealed Hill right now.
But you know what? That's gonna be enough for level 4 Demon Hunter. Maybe he'll go Immolation.
Oh, a man could dream about Immolation.
Oh, it isn't enough for level 4. What am I talking about?
Yeah,
4
it's close
XP away. Dang it.
Wontu actually chilling at 57 food right now.
Yeah, Ember, since he's been banking so much, I wonder if he's wondered about his gold. You know what I mean? I wonder if he's been like, man, I feel like I don't have enough gold. Normally I'm up to 3,000 by now.
Yeah, it's actually almost ludicrous, the gold deficit right now, just by not replacing that 5th acolyte. And perhaps Wontu can kind of mass a large enough army and take a great fight, but it's difficult because if Ember just wants to camp in his base, he really can. And fighting against Gargs at the base is so tough.
Ember has to know. He just looked at his gold mine, grabbed an Acolyte, and built a second slaughterhouse. He's going into a double slaughterhouse with 4 Acolytes on one day.
Good lord. Could he not sell
a
a crypt?
doing? You know, he should. He should actually sell it.
Little Ghoul Scout trying to ascertain whether there's a re-expansion attempt by the Night Elf, but unfortunately he will not be able to confirm that. Demon Hunter is kind of a beast, though.
With this double slaughterhouse, oh, he's going into Meat Wagon. Oh.
Mate, Ember is basically just taking everything I've said and just throwing it in my face.
Has he done a single thing that you told him to do?
Nah, pretty much not, but we can roll with it, dude.
Fair enough.
Nah, I actually really like that he's trying to adapt on the fly because, like, Garg's obviously great against Dryads, and Wagons are amazing against Dryads as well, especially with Disease Cloud on the go.
Yeah, Wagons are strong, man.
They are. They're definitely the best siege unit that's mechanical, other than, of course, mortars, which are, like, undeniably the best siege unit. Not mechanical, but they're definitely the best siege unit. But Meat Wagons out of Demolishers and Glaives are incredibly good.
I would definitely say so. Why is he getting Ghoul Frenzy if he's only got 4 ghouls? What's the point of that?
Needs more lumber. We want to see that 4K lumber Ember.
He's got 870 lumber. It's fine. Honestly, the Tinker's been pretty sick. Pushing greater mana on the Tinker, though.
I was immediately... I mean, I think keeping the big mana on the Tinker here is pretty sweet, actually. Pocket Factory is expensive. It's 125 mana a pop. DK has got coils for days, so I don't think he has too much to worry about. And I think what feels really bad for Wontu right now is that if he was actually to just take a fight against Ember, he would still lose against this number of Gargs, which basically hasn't changed for like the past, I don't know, 10 minutes. He's had like 9 Gargs.
I think he would win now. I legitimately think he would win now. He's got 10 2/2 Dryads versus 9 2/1 Gargs. I think he would win now, and Ember's doing the right thing in not doing anything. He's just going into triple Meat Wagon, and he's gonna go. The only thing that I would like to see is an upgrade from Ember, but he doesn't have the gold for that.
True. This is a quad wagon incoming right now.
Oh my god.
Here we go, guys. Potentially the last fight of this series. Level 6 Death Knight. I would love to see Animate Dead right now. And the wagons are kind of running in opposite directions, which is actually really nice. They should get some shots into these Dryads right now, spreading the miasma.
Animate Dead doesn't get Dryads, though, so he would only be able to get his own ghouls and the 1 archer.
I think it does give you Dryads, doesn't it?
No, because Dryads are spell immune. Even their bodies. Their corpses.
I'm definitely going to have to test that. That's really weird. Oh, no. They were just holding our breath. GG's.
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 Well played by Ember.
Damn, Qbert winning this 2-0. No chance for Sithrin and Wontu. Easy peasy. Even on 4 Acolytes, man.
Damn.
Sithrin, what went wrong?
What went wrong that game? I think Wontu was a little greedy trying for the fast expansion like he did, and I don't think he allowed himself to really get any of the advantages that Night Elf can get. I think if he was going to expand on CH, that he needed to open up with hunts first and get some map pressure, get some map control before he tried to expand. And then I think probably should have gone into Mass Air with the super delayed Hunter's Hall as well. Maybe that was his plan the whole time, and then once the first expo got canceled, he was like, "Ah, crap, I gotta go into Dryads." But I don't know, just some mental errors on Wontu's part, I believe, and then got out microed in the fights. Not terribly, not massively, nothing flashy, but just got out microed a little bit.
Yeah, always feels bad if your demon hunter is just staring at the Gargs and can't do anything. And
yeah.
You would love to have a pan down the bend that you could just switch in, but Qbert, you
honestly,
said
like even a Dark Ranger would be better.
Yeah, at least she can shoot up, I guess,
yeah.
and silence a little bit. Kuber, despite your student not doing anything you told him to, still happy of his about his performance?
I'm delighted. I'm super proud. Now, it was quite entertaining to just see Ember, identify what Wontu was doing and just playing a style that was effective against the mass Dryades in the end, going for that single base Gargs into wagons. I mean, it's pretty strange, but at the end of the day, Wontu is never able to transition out of Dryads, and we all know how great those wagons are. Game 1 was sort of, maybe he just felt really comfortable with the army composition he was going for, a couple heavy air units, an abomination with disease for blocking and obviously spreading the disease, and those fiends just tearing apart the Dryads. It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it felt like that Ember had a good game plan throughout and was adjusting very well. Like, of course, he had a plan A, and that worked well, and then he probably faced something that he wasn't expecting, like a Demon Hunter, and then adjusted, had a plan B with mass wagons and all, and especially the Tinker, like, damn. Shows that he played a lot of games and that he has, in his mind at least, a solution to everything you throw at him.
Yeah, he did a great job adapting to what Wontu had, and yeah, I was complaining about that Tinker pick. I was saying that's really strange, and you need Lich with Orb of Corruption to to make the focus fire even more intense. But at the end of the day, Pocket Factory is doing work.
Jim Discord redefining meta.
That's right. We've defined every meta for the past year.
You
remember when Panda First was a thing?
Panda First was a thing. You had some moments with the Pit Lord second somewhere as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, DH Pit Lord.
They're watching us, man. They're watching us.
So if you guys, maybe it is inspiration for some players at least. You guys seem to be ahead of the curve. And of course, super happy that you guys were with us here for Season 9. I got a big question coming up for you guys.
Oh, lordy.
Will you guys join me again for Season 10?
Of course.
Of course we will.
Of course.
You don't even have to ask. I'll be there.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, there's gonna be a big celebration, of course, then next time. For now, that was the gym showcase. I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching this and see players rising and see what they learned and how amazing the coaches are. So once again, plug the shit out of Gym, guys. Take my stage. Tell us everything about Gym that people who might tune in late need to know.
Well, Gym Discord is in my opinion, the international community for Warcraft 3. We have over 5,000 members at the moment. Probably about 1,000 of which are active. Well, that's saying a lot, but quite a few who are active, and we're all very warm. We're all very welcoming at Gym Discord. We try to keep it as wholesome as possible. We try not to balance wine. We do have one chat channel for balance wine and everything where
it's a dedicated space.
Yeah, but it's a dedicated space, and we try to keep it out of everything else. We have race channels. We have a night elf channel, human channel, orc channel, undead channel, where you can come and you can get advice. You can get anything that you need, and we're all there. You can talk to me. You can talk to Qbert. And you can talk to anybody, and we'll respond. It's not like we're celebrities, and if you add us, we're just gonna walk away from the keyboard. You can add us, and I will message you back. I have DM'd people who message me, and just have a chat.
Yeah, I would definitely encourage you to join. It's definitely the place to be in terms of finding like-minded folks, having your opportunity to participate in a league as well, having matches that you can schedule yourself with your opponent, giving you that chance to kind of find maybe your competitive edge that you might not have known you had before. I would encourage people that are currently in the Gym Discord to actually tag coaches specifically or PM them to try and get in touch about any questions you have. Sometimes the channels can be quite flooded with people obviously asking for help, and things can overlap or get lost. Just contact us individually. And that's definitely the easiest way to get detailed feedback. Of course, the race channels are excellent too, and we have other high-level players that give their input, like Todd, Armin, VB, Hippo, myself, if you can call myself a high-level player, Cithrin, obviously, God Gamer, Baron, if you want to know how to go pool. we've got we've got a bunch of great folks. Definitely hop on by.
And it's of course a breeding ground for amazing competition as well. If you think, oh, these cups, I always get happy first round, don't want to play that, and maybe I'm more of a team player, Gym Newbie League is the perfect tournament for you. I think it's about to start soon, of course, or at least signups will start soon, or you shouldn't miss that one. You can be part of a team, you had some mates, of course, coaches there as well, and then you face the other teams, which is one of the most beloved competition in all of Warcraft. As we said, Fountain of Mana League as well, where you get matched with opponents of your same skill level, and might be casted there as well. Stage could be yours. So very, very cool initiatives are coming from the gym Discord, next to W3Champions, next to maybe us and maybe the Hive Workshop, the fourth pillar of the Warcraft community.
4 pillars of awesomeness, dude.
That's right.
Exactly. All right, guys.
And we will be running GNL in February once Fountain of Mana League ends. So it is coming up very soon.
Okay, first we all enjoy Fountain of Mana League together, then we continue to enjoy Gym Newbie League, and in Season 10 we are enjoying the beautiful cast of Qbert and Cithrin once again. Guys, thank you so much for organizing this, for hosting this, for casting this, for making this awesome.
Thank you, Neo. Thank you for being wonderful. Shout out to Remo. We're glad you're back. We love you, and we're happy that you are back in our arms. Neo, you never left our arms.
Neo the omnipresent.
That's right.
Yeah, it's been good times for us here, I guess. I hope you guys out there have a good time joining the gym Discord. Warcraft-gym.com. There is tutorials, there is news, there is guides, there's everything you need to know. Of course, the link to the Discord as well. Qbert, you can close the stream for today, I think. Any shout-outs to specific people in the gym Discord?
Oh my gosh, I've never done shout-outs in my entire life. Lordy, where do I even begin? There's so many people. Obviously to all the gym admins, we've got Ember, Baron, Seth, Floss, myself, Cithrin, Kaiser, a beloved member, as well as a few others who sometimes potter about in the gym Discord a little bit. Obviously to the W3Champions community, to the developers, obviously, who have basically kept the game alive and volunteered and given up their free time to create the incredible platform that allows this game to survive. So I think we owe our thanks most to them, and of course to the Back to Warcraft team for continue to, you know, give us the coverage that we've lapped up since, I think, what, 2008? Something crazy like that. Yep. So keep it up, guys. Thank you so much.
All right, we will be back with the one-on-one tournament tomorrow. We have 2 long and awesome days ahead of us. 1 p.m. It's 2 hours earlier than the first 3 play days because we got so many amazing games. Starting off with Axlot versus Foggy, then it's Chemico versus Hawk, then the winner bracket between the two, then the lower bracket where Focus and Happy are waiting for their opponent, and of course Championship Sunday. Don't have to remind you about that. Thank you for joining, thank you for watching, thank you for contributing, thank you for being super awesome. Have a wonderful evening, take care, stay safe, and be nice. Bye-bye.